Have you ever felt a strange stillness within you, right in the middle of chaos? That stillness isn't indifference, it's the art of silence, where no storm can shake your inner calm. And the most fascinating part? Silence isn't just the absence of sound, it's the loudest voice of your inner strength, powerful enough to make the world stop and listen. In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. This timeless wisdom from the ancient strategist Sun Tzu still echoes today, especially through the Stoic philosophy we're diving into. Picture this: the world spinning fast, chaos all around, noise pressing in from every side, and yet you remain unmoved. In the eye of that storm, you discover a calm center, a solid, unshakable core. That's Stoicism. And that's the journey you and I are beginning right now. Today, we'll explore a quality often underrated but incredibly powerful: the art of silence. Silence is not just about staying quiet. It's the living presence of peace, a silent force that speaks louder than words. In this noisy, frantic world, where everyone rushes to speak their minds, mastering the ability to stay silent becomes a strategic weapon. It turns chaos into clarity and noise into meaning. We'll uncover how the great Stoics, from Marcus Aurelius to Seneca, used silence not as retreat, but as a sharp tool, a path to wisdom, an unshakable resolve. And if you feel overwhelmed by the noise of life, if you're longing for a peaceful space to breathe, think, and reconnect with yourself, you're exactly where you need to be. Let's unlock the hidden power of silence together. From inner peace to sharp thinking, this journey is about to change everything. If you're ready to elevate your life with Stoic wisdom, don't forget to hit subscribe and stay with us, because soon you'll learn silence can shake even the loudest of voices. Now picture this: you're in a tense moment, maybe a negotiation or a heated debate. They expect you to react, but you don't. You stay silent. In the previous section, we talked about the power of not reacting hastily. Now let's dive deeper into what truly lies within that silence. It's not just a tactic, but a living expression of Stoic virtues. This approach isn't just about gaining the upper hand, it's about embodying wisdom and temperance. 2. Foundational Stoic values. Sometimes the most powerful response is no response at all. And in that stillness, you're not only disarming your opponent, you're giving yourself space to listen, truly listen to what's being said, and perhaps even more to what's being left unsaid. You begin to notice what really matters. The emotions behind the words, the pauses, the unspoken layers. This is where intuition sharpens and insight grows. So the next time you find yourself in a high-pressure situation, remember the power of silence. Let it be your shield. Let it be your strategy. Let it reflect your inner Stoic, unshaken by external pressure and grounded in internal clarity. In our always-on, hyper-connected world, distractions aren't just annoyances, they are obstacles to inner peace. They fragment our focus, scatter our attention, and pull us away from the deep wisdom that Stoicism offers. But here's where Stoicism shines. It teaches us not just to endure difficulties, but to proactively reshape our environment, starting with the mind. Imagine this. When we strip away all the noise, the constant alerts, the endless feeds, what remains? Space. Space to think, to breathe, to reflect. Space to explore the teachings of great Stoics like Marcus Aurelius or Epictetus, who understood the profound value of solitude and introspection. You might wonder, how do I begin this journey? It starts with intentionality, choosing mindfully what deserves your attention. Maybe it's setting fixed times to check messages, crafting a calm workspace, or simply allowing moments of stillness into your day. The goal isn't to reject, the modern world, but to move through it with purpose, like a Stoic would. But it goes deeper. Eliminating distractions isn't just about managing the outer world. It's about quieting the inner noise, the doubts, the fears, the endless what-ifs that cloud our peace. Stoicism equips us to focus on what's within our control and let go of what's not. That's where real wisdom begins to flourish. And let's not forget, when we reduce distractions, we enhance every part of our life, our relationships, our work, our creativity. We become more present, more connected, and that is the start of living with intention and inner power. As we learned in the last section, once we quiet the distractions outside and the noise within, we begin to engage with the world more deeply. And intentionally, this kind of presence isn't abstract. It's a tangible gift, one that allows us to live more meaningfully, more fully, and more connected to every moment. Being fully present means living in the now, not being pulled into the past or the future, not being swept up by constant alerts and pressures. And this presence, this attentiveness, is one of the richest rewards that Stoic philosophy offers us. So I encourage you, begin small. Set aside a moment each day for silence. No devices, no noise, just you and your thoughts. Pay attention to what changes. Notice how it shapes your interactions, your thoughts, and even your decisions. As you enter this space of silence, something remarkable happens. People begin to listen more intently. Like the pause between notes in a beautiful symphony, silence deepens the resonance of everything around it. This is where silence becomes a Stoic virtue in action. It represents restraint and intentional action, or, in some cases, intentional inaction. Choosing to remain silent when everyone expects you to speak creates a commanding presence, a magnetic force. Picture a tense debate or a chaotic meeting. Everyone's talking, trying to be heard. But then there's you, quiet, focused, listening. And suddenly, the room takes notice. People start to wonder, what are they thinking? Why are they silent? That mystery, born from silence, grants you a subtle power, influence without effort, presence without noise. Let's take it further. Stoicism teaches us to value substance over noise, quality over quantity. This applies to how we communicate. When you do speak, your words carry weight because they come from a place of clarity, not impulsiveness. Silence also creates space for others to reveal themselves. It invites honesty, vulnerability, and deeper understanding. Whether in relationships, the workplace, or even within our own minds, this quiet space becomes fertile ground for empathy. But make no mistake, choosing silence doesn't mean choosing passivity. On the contrary, it's a bold, deliberate act. Knowing when to speak and when to let silence speak for you, that's a hallmark of Stoic strength. And when you begin to cultivate that ability, your life transforms. In the previous section, we explored how silence isn't about passivity, it's an intentional force that shapes our presence and influence. Now let's go even deeper into the core strength that silence nurtures within us. A quiet power that doesn't shout, but stands unshakable. In our noisy, fast-paced world where action and sound are often mistaken for power and productivity, choosing silence might seem counterintuitive. Yet, it is within these quiet moments that we uncover our deepest sources of strength, a truth deeply embedded in Stoic philosophy. Stoicism teaches us the importance of introspection and inner calm, virtues that are only cultivated in silence. When we step away from the external clamor, we finally begin to hear the internal voice, our thoughts, our feelings, and our true will, that often gets drowned out. Silence becomes a sanctuary for the mind, a space where it can rest, recover, and grow stronger. Free from endless distractions, our thoughts gain clarity and our spirit regains focus. Think of silence as mental training. Just as a bodybuilder lifts weights to build strength, a Stoic turns to silence to fortify the mind. In these quiet moments, we confront our inner chaos head-on, not to run from it, but to face it with courage. And from that confrontation, we emerge more centered and resilient. Moreover, silence fosters clarity, a rare but powerful form of strength. It helps us separate what's essential from what's merely noise. With clarity, we begin to act with purpose. Our choices reflect deeper values, not fleeting emotions. Our actions become intentional, our decisions more grounded. Let's look even deeper. Silence is not about isolation or inaction. It's about active engagement with our inner world. In the stillness, we listen to our thoughts, to our intuition. In these quiet conversations, we uncover truths about who we are, what we truly care about, and where our convictions lie. And here's the powerful part. The strength we build in silence doesn't stay inside us. It radiates outward. It shapes how we connect with others. When we're centered and clear, we bring calmness and confidence to every interaction. Our words carry more weight because they arise from reflection. Our presence becomes impactful, marked by the serenity and sense of purpose that Stoicism celebrates. And in the pursuit of Stoic wisdom, we begin to understand one thing. After exploring how inner strength radiates outward to shape how we relate to others, let's now turn to one of the deepest teachings of Stoicism: humility and freedom from ego. We are not isolated beings. Every individual, every thought, every action is a thread woven into the vast tapestry of existence, interconnected and interdependent. And realizing this truth is incredibly liberating. It frees us from the chains of ego and allows us to engage with life more openly, more authentically. But what does it truly mean to be free from pride or arrogance? It doesn't mean diminishing ourselves or denying our worth. It means acknowledging both our strengths and weaknesses with honesty and grace. It's understanding that our accomplishments don't make us superior and our failures don't define us. This Stoic principle invites us to approach life with equanimity, to meet both triumph and setback with the same calm demeanor. It encourages us to let our actions speak louder than our boasts. When we do this, we create a deep inner peace because our self-worth is no longer tied to external validation or comparison. Embracing humility also makes room for growth. We become better listeners, more compassionate companions, and more empathetic members of our communities. We recognize that everyone has something to teach us, and every interaction becomes a chance to learn. In practice, freeing ourselves from pride involves regular self-reflection, which is a cornerstone of Stoicism. We examine our motives, question our assumptions, and work to align our actions with our core values. We remind ourselves of our shared humanity, flawed, limited, and beautifully imperfect. This humility also enhances our relationships. When we release the need to always be right or appear superior, we make space for deeper, more authentic connections. We listen with care. We respond with thoughtfulness. We engage with sincerity. And in negotiation, while the words we speak hold weight, often it's the silence we choose that carries even more power. That pause, strategic and calm, can shift the dynamic, encouraging the other party to reveal more than intended and guiding the conversation to deeper levels. But from a Stoic perspective, this isn't manipulation, it's about using our inner stillness to respond wisely, not react impulsively. Because when we pause, as we discussed earlier, a well-timed pause during conversation isn't just strategic, it's a reflection of deeper Stoic values: respect, awareness, and control. But silence, as Stoics see it, goes beyond tactics. It's a powerful expression of respect for the words yet to be spoken and the weight they may carry. When we pause, we signal thoughtfulness. We demonstrate that we're not just reacting, we're reflecting. And that reflection commands respect. Whether in negotiation or everyday interaction, this quality is magnetic. People trust those who take their time before speaking. This intentional silence also beautifully echoes Stoicism's emphasis on listening. In any meaningful dialogue, listening is just as vital as eloquence. When we truly listen, we uncover insights into others' fears, needs, and desires. And those insights are key to crafting mutually beneficial solutions. But how do we cultivate this discipline? It begins with self-awareness, a foundation of Stoic philosophy. The more we understand our impulses, triggers, and habits, the more we can pause rather than react. And it also takes confidence, believing in the value of your perspective and being strong enough to let it stand without over-explaining. In practice, silence shows up in many forms. It can be a pause after a bold statement. It can be a moment to regather your thoughts when a conversation grows heated. Or it can be space you consciously create for others to step into, to share, to reflect, or even to surrender their position. The Stoics believed all human beings are interconnected. Kindness, therefore, is more than a virtue. It's a recognition of that deep bond. In the Stoic sense, kindness isn't about grand gestures. It's about the everyday acts of empathy, the moments we choose patience over anger, understanding over judgment. Kindness means thinking about how our words and actions affect others, choosing to uplift instead of criticize, to support instead of diminish. And consideration goes even further. It's about stepping into someone else's world, understanding their pain, their hopes, their truth. When we engage with others from this place of genuine consideration, we form stronger, more meaningful relationships. And in doing so, we nourish our own well-being too. Because as Stoicism teaches us, our inner peace is inseparable from how we treat others. After exploring the Stoic virtues of kindness and empathy, let's reflect. What could happen if each of us chose to act just a little differently, just a little more kindly, a little more mindfully? When we align ourselves with Stoic values, we don't just create inner harmony, we extend that harmony outward. What's truly beautiful is that one kind, intentional action can inspire another and then another, creating a ripple effect that gently transforms the people and spaces around us. Imagine if each person committed to acting with a little more kindness and consideration each day. The collective result could be profound, not because of grand gestures, but because of small, consistent actions rooted in Stoic wisdom. So how can we truly live out these principles? It begins with mindfulness, being aware of our interactions and pausing to choose how we respond. It's about not reacting impulsively, but instead choosing actions that reflect Stoic virtues, wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. In a world of noise where everyone fights to be heard, someone who listens deeply and empathetically stands out. And that's exactly what Stoic philosophy calls for, a commitment to understanding, empathy, and the pursuit of wisdom. Deep listening goes beyond hearing. It's about connecting to the essence of someone's message, feeling their emotions, sensing their motivations. It's not listening to reply, it's listening to truly understand. And within that understanding lies the Stoic ideals of empathy and rationality. When we truly listen, we offer others our presence and respect. We recognize their dignity and humanity. We acknowledge that, just like us, they carry struggles, stories, and truths worth hearing. But the benefits of deep listening go even further. It makes us better learners, better problem solvers, and better companions. It sharpens our insights, and helps us make wiser, more balanced decisions, true reflections of Stoic wisdom and moderation. So how do we practice this art? It starts with clear intention. Approach every conversation with the mindset, I have something to learn. That shift alone changes the entire dynamic, from self-focus to genuine curiosity. Then, bring your full presence. In our world of distractions and divided attention, giving someone your undivided presence is a rare and powerful gift. Put the phone down, silence the noise, and engage fully with the human being in front of you. And that, perhaps more than anything, building. On the power of deep listening, we come to realize that true listening isn't just about ears. It's an experience that engages the eyes, the body, and the mind. When you show up fully, not just with words, but with your whole being, people feel it. They know you're truly present, and more importantly, that you truly care. Deep listening also demands patience and self-control, virtues deeply revered in Stoic philosophy. Often the most difficult act isn't speaking, but holding back. Resisting the urge to interrupt, to judge, to start formulating a response before the other person has even finished. It's about creating space, a space where someone else can speak fully, without fear of being cut off or misunderstood. And once their words fade into silence, that's when the next critical step begins. Reflection. Reflection, after listening, helps you not only understand the other person more deeply, it helps you understand yourself. What moved you? What stirred your thoughts? What is the most thoughtful and grounded way to respond? This is how Stoicism defines measured, intentional action, and it starts with reflection. Because Stoicism is not about quick answers or accumulating facts. It's about cultivating deep, thoughtful wisdom. It's about reflecting on our experiences, values, and the world around us. It's a path to intentional living, where every choice is considered and every action is aligned with your better self. Reflective wisdom begins with introspection. It asks us to pause, to look inward, and to face ourselves honestly. It's not always easy. It demands vulnerability, courage, and truth. But this is where the real work begins, understanding our motives, identifying our biases, and clarifying the values we stand for. Yet this wisdom is not for us alone. Stoicism reminds us that we're all part of a greater whole. Our reflection must also extend outward, toward our relationships, our community, and our shared human experience. Ask yourself, are my actions aligned with the greater good? Am I fostering harmony or fueling division? Am I living in service of something larger than myself? With this expanded perspective, our wisdom becomes more than personal. It becomes a guiding force for the world around us. Now let's talk practicality. Reflective wisdom isn't just theory, it's powerfully applicable. It shapes how we speak, how we act, how we respond to pressure. It helps us remain composed in adversity, steady under stress, and flexible through change. And that right there is the mark of a true Stoic. Someone who rises above impulsive emotion and chooses to act with clarity, intention, and compassion. Following our exploration of reflective wisdom, we now turn to a deeper question. How do we truly cultivate this wisdom and carry it into everyday life? It begins with creating space for regular reflection. This can be as simple as a daily review of your actions and decisions, keeping a journal to process thoughts, or engaging in meaningful conversations with others. But more importantly, it's about asking yourself the hard questions and being open to wherever the answers may lead. True reflection is a bridge between past, present, and future. Learning from the past, being grounded in the now, and preparing wisely for what's ahead. That's the soil where wisdom grows. Another vital element is adopting a learner's mindset. Life is the greatest teacher, and every experience, whether joyful, painful, or mundane, offers a lesson. When we meet life with curiosity and openness, we extract meaning from everything, deepening our understanding and strengthening our perspective. And then there is resilience, a central pillar of Stoic philosophy. Resilience isn't about avoiding pain or denying hardship. It's about facing adversity with courage, learning from it, and emerging stronger. Stoicism teaches that while we may not control what happens to us, we always control how we respond. And that response, grounded in reason, clarity, and virtue, is the forge of true resilience. So how do we build it? It starts with acceptance. Stoicism urges us to see reality as it is, not how we wish it to be. This doesn't mean giving up. It means facing challenges without judgment or self-pity, so we can focus our energy on what really matters, how we respond, and how we grow. Next is the power of perspective. The Stoics believed that most of our suffering comes not from events themselves, but from our judgments about them. A wider perspective allows us to view adversity not as defeat, but as part of a greater narrative, one of growth, learning, and eventual transformation. And let's not forget community. While Stoicism emphasizes inner strength, it also acknowledges our interdependence. We grow stronger not in isolation, but through connection, by sharing our struggles, offering support, and receiving the wisdom of others who've walked through fire before us. These bonds reinforce our resilience, reminding us we're never truly alone. Lastly, resilience is not innate, it's practiced. Like a muscle, it strengthens as we use it. Each challenge is a test and a training ground to apply our Stoic values. Act with courage, stay composed, and respond in alignment with who we truly are. Because within every true Stoic lies an inner strength that no hardship can take away. After walking together through the path of reflective wisdom and unshakable resilience, we arrive at a quiet yet powerful realization. The strength you've been seeking was never outside. It's been within you all along. Being Stoic isn't about avoiding adversity. It's about facing it fully and using it as a catalyst for growth, for transformation, and for a deeper understanding of your own values and virtues. Every challenge you've faced has the power to refine your character and clarify your convictions. And most importantly, this journey doesn't end with insight, it continues with movement. With stepping forward, equipped with the resilience, clarity, and wisdom you've earned through experience. As we close today's journey into the soul of Stoic philosophy, take a moment to remember the power you're searching for is already within you. It's waiting to be awakened through reflection, through strength, and through mindful living. Thank you for walking this path with me. You're not just viewers, you are a vital part of the Stoicism philosophy daily, united by our shared pursuit of wisdom, virtue, and inner mastery. And don't stop here. Click on one of the suggested videos on the screen to continue your exploration of Stoicism. Each next step will deepen your knowledge, strengthen your perspective, and carry you further on your path of transformation. Because together, we're not just learning, we're evolving.